Almost shit. Hey, hey, who's cooking? Doctor Who's cooking? Doctor Who's cooking something up with meat. So make a food, baby. A shit the pan, maybe. We could make another cursing recipe. We got a hot pot of beans and an order to fill. And I know beach space ain't got any chill. So Italian soda pop and spicy for me. If you wanna learn good knobs and hang around and see, say hey, who's cooking? Doctor Who's cooking? Doctor Who's cooking something up for thee. And eggplant.
Zip zap zoop. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Doctor Who's Cooking, the WBPL-76 cooking show with me, your host, Doctor Who's the Chef. I'm cooking chili today because it's chilly as fuck, and also I didn't know what to cook, so I was just like laying in bed until about like 2 hours ago, being like, what the fuck am I gonna cook today? Oh, I'm gonna make chili. That's easy, and I can do that. Also, my road still hasn't been plowed, and it's 2 inches of solid ice. Thank you, Department of Transportation, for my state. I really appreciate that the state has slashed your funding this year, and your snow removal response to this winter storm has been less than stellar. I'm not. I'm not salty. No. No, I'm not. Definitely not salty about the state's response to the snowstorm. It has definitely been an adequate snow removal process in which timely removal on all major roadways was undertaken in a calm and collected manner, and everyone was able to get where they were going. Can you hear the sarcasm? Very, very not happy. So, we making chili today. Why? Because I want to. It's easy, I'm hungry, and it's going to feed me for about 5 days. I bought a loaf of bread that I was going to eat on the drive home. Hello! Hello, Mr. Duck. How are you doing today? Bobby? 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 Bobby, come here. Hey, Bobby. Look who's guest starring today. Aww. He having fun. He having fun. What's up, Watson? How you doing? Hello, Bubby. It has come to my attention that when he was adopted from the shelter, his name was Harvey Wienerstein. It is a good thing that his name was changed. He is a better Watson than he is a Harvey. Watson! What's up, Bubby? What's up? What's up? You went down? Uh-oh, I disconnected. Hello, I am back. Go have fun, Bubby. I saw that during the shenanigans. Dux was here. That may or may not need to become a sticker, Mr. Duck. That may or may not need to be a sticker. In fact, it definitely needs to be a sticker. Okay, so one of the things I got while I was out shopping was a headache. Were on discount. I got beef sliders for $6. I'm just like, hell yeah, I'll pay $6 for this. Remember, guys, discount food is still food. Legally, I should know. I'm a chef. This one. Yep. Alright. According to the weird and wonderful comic that is my recipe, let's get this beef cooking. You like my little forest? I bought the Lego bonsai kit. Yep. Wash my hands. And get that. It does have a digs. That bear is shitting in the woods. It also has a Sakura Blossom mode that I haven't assembled yet, but it's pretty neat. So, it's been a while since I've cooked with everybody. I apologize for last week, but here's the story of what happened. So, Saturday, everything, we were predicted to have winter stormage come in and start playing not nice with the local area. But it didn't. It started early-ish in the morning, about the time that I went to work. And so I get to work. I get to work at 5 a.m. Well, 5:30 on Sunday. And it's literally just the night assistant. And I'm just like, hey, my clerks might not show up. Do you mind staying until my flex manager gets here? at 8. She's just like, yeah, sure, that sounds great. Well, 6:30 rolls around and we get a call. Hey, who's this? This is the flex manager. Hey, what's going on? Hey, I can't get out of my cul-de-sac. I need to use a sick day. Fuck. Not his fault, obviously. Like, the roads haven't been cleared. And then every other clerk proceeds to call in. So we're scrambling. We're calling the store manager. We're calling the area supervisor. Hey, is there any fucking coverage? No, is the answer. So she ends up staying until about 12, 1 o'clock. Until someone else comes in. Only one clerk came in at 11. And the only other person that came in was the evening manager at 1, who barely made it himself. We then proceeded to send the clerk home, along with the night manager. So, it was just the two of us. And all of his evening people called off. And so we're struggling to find coverage. And the store manager and the area supervisor call our store and are just like, hey, is Doc still there? Well, yeah, he's still here. They're just like, does he want his next shift off if he works a double? And I said, I will not enjoy it, but I will. Because, well, bird in the hand, you know? So I worked that double. And it proceeded to be one of the worst shifts of my life because, for some silly reason, everybody decided it was still going to be a really good idea to go to the gas station and play their lottery. And also buy tons of fucking snacks because apparently we're the only godforsaken company that's open during a snowstorm. Luckily, we closed the kitchen, so we didn't have to make too many things, but, fuck everything. I really didn't want to be awake at all that Monday, so I didn't cook. Anyway, what the fuck was I doing? Oh yeah, I need to get a chopping board. Shut the fuck up, Edge. No. I don't want to review this year because you only open whenever I accidentally don't do something and it automatically goes to Chrome or Firefox. I don't like you, Edge. Knife. I have opinions about web browsers. What's up?
What's going on?
Taking him for a walk?
No, I'm taking Sierra to work.
Ah, okay.
He's coming with.
Shinerbach, the unofficial beer of BPL meetups. Prost. But, the Department of Transportation really dropped the ball on road clearing, snow removal for this latest incident because I'm driving home at 10:30 and I'm just like, I am not taking the city streets that I normally do because it's going to be impossible to get through anywhere. So I'm going to take the interstate because they'll have cleaned that by the time that it's time for me to go home. Oh, how wrong I was, chat. Oh, how wrong I was. The road had barely been cleared, if at all touched at all. The on-ramps and off-ramps were still atrocious. And in fact, several of them were blocked by stuck cars trying to dig themselves out as 6, 7, 8, a dozen cars piled up behind them.
I'm gonna go one. Yeah, there in a minute.
The Where's my garlic? Where the fuck is the garlic? Right there. Lovely. The only way that I got home was by dodge, duck, diving, and dodging from tire rut to tire rut. And even then, once I got to my residential streets, I still bottomed out. And I had to do the rocking thing to get in and out, and in and out. And not in the fun way. I got home, I partook of legal adult substances, cleared the walkway to my apartment because the workmen hadn't come by and put salt down, and then proceeded to pass the fuck out. And just this week, we finally got about half of the main road, of the main feeder road, mind, cleared. Then we also got most of the side residential road going from the feeder road to the main road cleared. But my little one-way road is still a sheet of ice. So my steering wheel is full cocked to one side as I'm driving down my residential road, trying not to hit cars parked on either side. Castus, I'm in a constant state of misery living here. We got about 8 inches of snow, followed by about an inch of freezing rain, ice, sleet shit. I am in a state that is not unaccustomed to winter weather and should have been better prepared. No, the weather was so bad that by the time I got home at about 11:45, yes, I spent about an hour driving on the highway. We had we got a notification from the State Department of Transportation that they just closed the interstate that I was just driving on due to weather conditions. Thank you for looking out for my safety. Now, Castus, my city's claim to fame is a large geometric shape as a national monument. I think I need more pepper. So, that's what I've been dealing with. The snow buildup around my store has been thawing, melting, and freezing in such a way that there's black ice constantly around the store. How did I discover this? Well, a patch of black ice came up behind me while I was out sweeping the lot before my shift, and it just came up behind me and robbed me of my balance. If any of you understand Key and Peele, you will get that joke. But no, seriously, like, I slipped and fell and, like, landed on my hand in such a way that I'm just like, oh shit, please don't tell me I just broke my fucking wrist. No, I just had a bruised fucking hip and kneecap for the rest of the goddamn day. And this was about 3 days ago. This is because I have turned on every light and every windows open except for the one. Please let me show you my apartment. The day before all of this winter bullshit, I went out and spent $60, $70 on preventative measures. That is a little nook that has 3 windows, 3 walls that are just straight windows. There's not a heating vent in there. And they are, I think, single pane windows. If I did not put that blanket up, we would be chugging through our heating bill. As it stands, going into that little alcove is about 15-20 degrees colder. It's, you put a table in there and it's the dining room kind of thing. But we're all bachelors here, so what the fuck do we need a dining room for? My garlic toast. That's what I was looking for. Guy, that's a really good idea. Are you gonna buy me the tinfoil? Oh my god, no, my parents' house has a giant window glass door thing in the dining room And in the summer, when it gets to like 115, they put up a blanket on it, and cools everything right off. I think last year I was doing a shift at my old job when one of my coworkers came down with food poisoning and made a run for the toilet, only slipped on ice during the run. He's okay, but we all use kitty litter. Ha. Goddamn busybodies. Mind your own fucking business. So, on to happier things. How... Yeah, so, I had a very terrible idea at work the other day. So, do all of you know... I've probably sung it before. Have I ever sung the sea shanty Spanish Ladies for you all? Goes a little something like, farewell and adieu to you, Spanish ladies. Farewell and adieu to you, ladies of Spain. For we've received orders for to sail for old England. And we hope very soon we shall see you again. We'll rant and we'll roar like true British sailors. We'll rant and we'll roar all on the salt sea until we strike soundings in the channel of old England. From Ushant to Scilly is 35 leagues. We hove our ship to with the wind at sou'west, boys. We hove our ship to our soundings to sea. We rounded and sounded, got 45 fathoms. Then we squared our main yard and up channel steered we. We'll rant and we'll roar like true British sailors. We'll rant and we'll roar all on the salt seas until we strike soundings in the channel of old England. From Ushant to Scilly is 35 leagues. The next land we made, 'twas called the Dead Man. Next Ramehead off Plymouth, off Portland the White. We sailed by Beachy, by Fairley and Dunchness, till we came abreast of the South Foreland Lights. We'll rant and we'll roar like true British sailors. We'll rant and we'll roar all on the salt seas until we strike soundings in the channel of old England. From Ushant to Scilly is 35 leagues. Then the signal was made for the Grand Fleet to anchor, all in the Downs that night for to lie. Then it's stand by your stoppers, steer clear your shank painters, haul up your clew garnets, let tacks and sheets fly. We'll rant and we'll roar like true British sailors. We'll rant and we'll roar all on the salt seas until we strike soundings in the channel of old England. From Ushant to Scilly is 35 leagues. So let every man toss off a full bumper, and let every man drink up a full glass. We'll drink and be merry and drown melancholy. Singing here's to good health to each true-hearted lass. We'll rant and we'll roar like true British sailors. We'll rant and we'll roar all on the salt seas until we strike soundings in the channel of old England. From Ushant to Scilly is 35 leagues. It's a song about navigating the English Channel. So, I only have the opening so far, and I know next to nothing about it, but I have started a parody. A parody that I am calling Hardened Spacemen. Farewell and adieu to you, fellow spacemen. Farewell and adieu to you, clowns and antags. For I've received orders for to head for the evac, but I hope very soon we shall all play again. And very solid opening. Very, very solid opening. I just need to figure out what to make the chorus about, and I feel like I can make the rest of the round transpire in the rest of the verses. In case you didn't catch it, it's going to be a song about Space Station 13 or 14 or whatever. Okay. Have I choppy chopped? I've choppy chopped. So if any of you have any ideas for lyrics for a Space Station 13 parody of Spanish ladies, I would appreciate from Atmos to evac is 35 tiles. Oh, that's good. That's a good one. Thank you, Silicone. From Atmos to evac is 35 tiles. That's good. I like that. I like that. That is like legitimately. Bravo. I need olive oil. Let's get that nice and warm. And proceed. The farewell and adieu is only the opening line as well. So, yeah. can work with that. I can work with that. The Mothman in Medbay. And then Storm and I gave Storm the idea. And he is running with it. But we hope to debut this glorious shit post soon. Also, very soon, hello, Mr. Fairy Dog Father. How are the beans doing? Beepity beep beep beepity beep beep beepity beep beep bean update! Beans are large. According to Man on the Ground, Iden Desir, the fairy dog father himself, the beans are large and wiggly. Mr. Iden Desir, have they opened up their eyes yet? Are they mobile? Has the father met them? Or is Sarah still being very possessive? We are getting a report that the weaning process should start soon. These beans are going to be large and in charge. Excellent! The father has met them. Grimos, you're a mod. Can you please enable pet so that people can give money so that I'm Desir can give all of his puppies a very good scritchin'? Yes, I am putting corn and green beans in. Why? Because I want vegetables. Yes, Castus, I understand. You are Texas. Beans and vegetables in Chile? What heresy is this? Get the hell out of here, man. This is WBPL, where we make cursed shit. You knew what you signed up for. Alright, now I also need to acquire this. ¿Dónde está la biblioteca? Alright, we're doing this live. I need sugar. So, this is once again a cooking comically recipe that I am basing this off of. This is his 2 a.m. chili. This is what made him famous initially. Made the rounds on Tumblr and everything. He described it as, I'm drunk, it's 2 a.m., and I want chili. What do I have on hand? So, he made this. And now I'm making it for the enjoyment of all of you. Oh! My secret ingredients. Sugar, brown sugar. So I understand that Saris has ostensibly retired from being a mom after this. And I mean this in the nicest possible way, Mr. Fairy Dogfather, sir. What is the plan for Pip? Is he retired from being a father as well? And are you retired from being a fairy dog father? Because it seems like you guys were wanting this to be a regular thing. And if it's not a simple answer, just say it's complicated and no more questions shall be asked. I understand that one of the beans will be inheriting Mama's job in a very ethical manner. And I understand that one of them will be staying with you, and the other is going to another friend. Is there any word on the street of them inheriting the job? Or was this enough trauma and heartbreak for you all? No, it's fine. I'm cooking while I am talking. And people see you and immediately need a bean update. Garlic powder. Tablespoon of garlic powder. Tablespoon of cayenne red pepper. That is smoked paprika. I have a problem. I am almost out of cayenne red pepper. And in fact, I am now out of cayenne red pepper. Oh no, whatever will I do? Gonna add some Cajun seasoning to make up the difference. Hello? We have man on the street. Hold on. Let me, fix my thing. Speakers. There we go. Aiden, give us a test.
Test.
Okay, we have you.
All right. Cool. So yeah, it's honestly easier and less long-winded in chat to just, pop in here to give the field report on the status of the babies. Currently, Pip is shoveling his nose under a pillow and driving it around the living room because it has taken his fancy and he is eager to play. Saris is back in the pen with the babies. And to answer your questions, so as previously described, we're hoping that Pip will kind of mellow out a little bit once he has his bits neutered. Oh my goodness, boy, you are being such a ding dong. He's running around. One of our pillows, one of our little cushions, has frayed at the end, so there's a long string of loose
So you're saying that Pip is part
fabric.
cat?
He is.
No.
I swear he's part cat. What are you doing now, you dingleberry?
Also.
Oh my goodness, he's face down, ass up in the beanbag chair looking at me.
He wants to
Anyway,
play.
he absolutely wants to play. So we're hoping that he'll calm down because he's very much keen on borking territorially at anyone and anything that passes by. And again, it's cruel to try and force Saris to have any more babies because
Oh, no,
once a
of course.
C-section happens, they will always have to be a C-section, and that is both very rough on the dog, but also comes with risks of surgery
surgery.
doesn't. Yeah, surgery doesn't always go well.
Especially on animals. Because people, we can say, oh man, this feels wrong, but a dog just gets lethargic and licks at their bits.
Yep.
Which
So
is something that normally happens with them anyway.
Yep. Thankfully, she has recovered admirably from the C-section. She's past the 2-week mark. We took her and Pip both out to the local baseball field the other day, and they had a delightful romp and chase and, played a bit of fetch. So she is starting to get back to her old self. She doesn't have the stamina she used to because she's been a couple months without strenuous exercise by dint of being turbo pregnant.
Yes, absolutely.
So she's going to get back into running fit before too incredibly long.
We have a follow. Thank you, Electo Ship, for following.
Elcato's ship? Yeah. So to answer your other question, the fate of the babies. So one of the reasons why we adopted Pip from the ranch we adopted him from is that they have proven in all investigation we did to be extremely ethical. They're a small, married couple mom and pop operation in a big honkin' ranch in the middle of nowhere, Texas. And Quail Ridge Pocket Beagles, to give you the name of where we got him from. The married couple that lived there had the husband has been raising beagles since he was a boy, helping his dad breed beagles. So
Oh, and homemade spice mix
literally,
now getting shaked. Sorry for interrupting.
no, no. It's your show, man. But yeah, homemade spice mix sounds great, honestly. But yeah, so literally generations of breeding experience, and they do it because they love the dogs, not because they need the money. Because again, full ranch, longhorn cattle, dogs being bred, welding shop, the works. They've got
And I assume that these dogs are being. I know that you have talked about this in the BPL um, for a bit, but I recall you saying something about you and Lady Red saying something about how they try to they like track the lineages and try and limit
they
inbreeding
do
for the health of the line as much as they can.
correct. They do not practice inbreeding. They do not do line breeding. Um,
And
they keep
you said
track
that
of the parentage.
they're in contact with like other breeders across the country and ship in dogs
Yeah.
to try and maintain the health of the line.
Oh yeah. They bring in dogs from outside their stable regularly to again make sure they've got strong genetic diversity. So that way they don't have inbred dogs with the health issues that come with that.
May I please
They're
interrupt you and say,
shoot.
fuck the American Kennel Club. They are probably one of the worst things to happen to the health of dogs in a whole host of ways. Take a
I
look at the
I
pug. Take a look at the bull
oh
terrier. The pug cannot breathe, and used to not look like that. The
the
bull
poor
terrier
pug.
cannot breathe, cannot see, and used to not look like that. American Kennel Club graded German Shepherds cannot be police dogs because their hips fuck up so much.
That is one of the big risks you get with breeding practices aimed at pedigree dogs. You're right. So that's why when they asked for one of the puppies, because we took when we went to adopt Pip, we took Saris with us because we wanted the two to meet and to see if they had the ability to get along before we brought Pip home because it's a good 20 odd hour drive that we did with that poor boy that took him away from everything he's ever known. He went from being on a ranch with dozens, plural, of his family and friends
Brothers,
to
sisters, cousins,
a
uncles, nieces,
yep,
nephews.
yep, to a suburban house in Florida where he has one beagle that he can live with. So, very big adjustment period. So we didn't want to do this by half measures. So we took Saris with us. And when we got there, so again, think standard stereotypical Texas ranch. Like the first time I've seen longhorn cattle in my life was driving along the driveway to get to their house. So the instructions were hang out in front of their house and don't go around the back until we'd had the chance to meet and greet with the breeders and discuss steps moving forward because they didn't want to stress our dog out because as soon as we walked around the corner, so I mean, if you were stood in front of your stove and I were stood in front of, I'm guessing that's your dishwasher, and we were having a conversation
Stove,
next to each other,
dishwasher, yes.
yeah, if we were that close, stood next to each other having a conversation, unless we were shouting, we wouldn't have been able to hear each other. I say this because when we went around back, the lady was that close to me. We were walking just about shoulder to shoulder, and the cacophony of beagle meant we couldn't hear each other. So
Spice update.
Ooh.
Ooh, that's very spicy.
So what's in the spice
Uh, I
mix?
put in, um, I put in sugar, garlic powder, cayenne pepper, cumin, chili powder, onion powder, basil, salt, pepper, flour, and brown sugar.
Nice.
Um, this particular spice mix I am very proud of. I have kind of tweaked the proportions so that it's kind of a very subtle heat. It builds on you. It's not a slap you in the face heat. And then
Ooh.
my secret ingredient is chocolate.
Interesting.
So,
So, admittedly, I've heard that chocolate does actually pair well with peppers like
too
cayenne and
much,
other hot peppers.
too much, and it turns into a mole. But just enough um, drops the heat in a very soft way and gives a very,
Okay.
very lovely um, little savory body to it. So it rounds out the flavor profile in an absolutely delicious way.
Okay. Seeing Castus report that your voice input is a little on the low
I
side.
know, I know, because I'm actively on speaker, so I'm kind of yelling at the moment.
Gotcha, gotcha.
So that Aiden is not being double spoken and picked up by my microphone.
So I'll get to the point then because admittedly I don't want to muscle in on your
Oh
cooking
no, I
show.
invited you in, man. Don't worry about it.
But so the thing about the fate of the pups, again, we found the breeders because they were very ethical and showed genuine love for their dogs. They fell in love with Saris because when we took her out back, most dogs would be barking or stressed or what have you. She just stood there cool as a cucumber, is like, this is for me. All of these beagles are barking for me. And she was just as calm as could be. They fell in love. So we discussed it with them, and they said they would love to have one of her babies, to add to the gene pool, and so that they could have a little bit of her world of personality brought into the mix. And because they just fell in love with her, which I don't blame them. That's what happened to Lady Red and I as well. So we're like, yeah,
You
no,
guys are
that's
adorable.
we don't have kids, we have dogs that take the place of kids. What can I say? So that's we agreed that that sounded like a lovely idea if that's how, fate played out. Well, turns out she's had 3 babies. We have a close friend of ours who requested a little girl, a female puppy if possible, because his daughter doesn't know yet that they are quite probably getting a puppy unless life intervenes. That's the plan. Another female is going to the breeders so that, again, a little bit of Saris can live on and have a long and prosperous bloodline, ideally. Because that's the whole reason we wanted her to have puppies in the first place, is we are so smitten with her. We didn't, when the inevitable happens, we wanted a little piece of her to live on.
Oh yeah,
And
absolutely.
so the little boy, Virgil, is going to be staying with us. And some years down the line, when the time is right, there is every expectation that we will find Virgil a girlfriend and have another generation beyond that.
Excellent, excellent. I very much enjoy this news, and that you are part of keeping dog breeding an ethical and
Oh
moral
yeah.
practice. It's
So we
about
have
the health and happiness of the dogs, not profit.
concur. Like, when I say that we are selling, quote unquote, the 2 females, I use that
It's
in the
costs.
loosest of terms, and
It's
it
costs, not
exactly
profit.
precisely. Especially the friend of ours, because I mean, I'm not going to charge a longtime close friend more than what it costs to bring the dog into the world and make sure that they're healthy and happy. That's just a dick move to do to a good friend. And with the breeders, they are the reason we even had this opportunity in the first place. And they've been a lovely couple of people to work with and to have, because they've been on speed dial the entire process of the pregnancy and birth.
Absolutely.
So when Saris went into labor, we were on the phone with them immediately. And they kind of walked us through some of what to expect. They've been
Hey
excellent in
guys,
that
this is
capacity.
PupCon 1. I repeat, we are at PupCon 1.
So, the funniest thing is her water broke 15 minutes after I finished streaming on a Thursday. So, you've got numeric workshop going, and I'm like, oh shit, PupCon 1, guys. Oh, that was a stressful night. We
And
did not sleep that night.
a moment of silence in chat for the two brave beans that sadly we never will get to meet, but thank you for bringing three beans into this world.
Yeah.
All right.
So, one of the way we're looking at it is it wasn't their time, and those little beans have just gone back to wherever it is they come from to find a new litter to see to.
The bean farm.
You know? The bean farm. There you go.
That is a beautiful sentiment to hold.
But yeah, like we wouldn't be willing to do anything but try and make sure we are as ethical and as kind to the dogs as possible because they're our kids. We're not going to have human children, but these dogs are by essence our kids.
Oh
And
no, 100%.
the thing is, Saris came from a place that is, I'm fairly convinced, is a puppy mill. The fact that she is as well adjusted as she is
And healthy by all accounts.
oh yeah, is no small miracle because I mean she was 3 months old when we brought her home. A coworker of mine, his son adopted her as part of a jealousy thing because his older brother had a dog and he wanted one. He couldn't look after her the way a beagle needs because they need a lot of attention, exercise,
From
mental
everything
and
that I have
physical
seen, they
stimulation.
are fairly small bundles of pure, unadulterated energy.
Yes. They're hunting dogs, and because of that,
They're
they need to
curious, they're
run.
crafty, they're energetic, and if you are not, they're not the dog for you.
Correct. Like, over the past couple weeks, Pip has been acting out, for example, because we haven't been able to give him
His
the
playmate
exercise and
isn't there.
attention. Yeah, he's not had the exercise and attention he needs because we have been very, very focused on the little ones because they are a full-time job. And I don't blame Pip for it, but yeah, it's a bored beagle is a destructive and mischievous beagle, and it's because they need stimulation. They need the mental exercise as much as the physical. They're good dogs, but you have to understand the commitment you're getting into.
All right, this is very important, Aiden. You are
Shoot.
going to decide what happens next. Should I turn this into Chili Mac?
What is chili mac?
You take macaroni and you put chili on it. Should I make macaroni?
What is the alternative here?
Chili.
Well, you got to have a good carb to go with your chili.
Sounds good.
There you go.
All right.
And Grimos, don't judge me. I kind of figured I knew where we was going with this, but wanted to be sure. Castus is right. Yep, hunting and work dogs need something to work on, otherwise they tear your house apart. I've known people to have Dachshunds go through floors because they dig to find rodents and vermin. I have known German Shepherds, Huskies, and Hounds to be noisy and destructive because they didn't have the leg room to do what they needed to do. Keeping one of them in a small apartment is the worst thing you can do unless you can take them out for walks.
One of
And
my favorite episodes of Dog Whisperer was when he went to. It was like this giant working dog, which was like bred to be like a sled dog, as in like it pulled heavy ass carts in the place of like a pony or a horse. And it
oh,
was
that's a
acting
dog
up.
that's going to need to go.
It wasn't behaving. Blah blah blah. And then he was just like, "Here's a wagon, hitch it up." But that's dog abuse. You're abusing it by not exercising it. Put your kid in that wagon and let the dog go. And it was the happiest motherfucker you've ever seen.
Oh yeah, no, especially if you've got a kid in that wagon as well, you've got now a dog and a child who are both having the time of their lives. That is a sled dog. That dog was bred for that purpose. Oh, he is going to be so excited.
Have
He
you
gets to do
ever
the thing
heard
he lives
of
for.
Have you ever heard of turnspits?
The phrase rings a bell, but I'm not sure why.
So, turnspits were a dog that was. The breed has since gone extinct. But
Okay.
turnspits were a dog bred for the specific purpose of walking for a very long time in essentially a hamster wheel to turn a spit roast.
Yep, I've heard of these.
And anecdotal evidence of people who lived with them was if they hadn't been turning a spit, they got really uppity because they had lots of endurance. And if they didn't turn a spit and went for very long walks, more often than not, the owner, the person walking them, would run out of endurance before the dog.
Yep, that sounds
And
right.
then
Sled dogs can be similar.
in the and then with the advent of mechanization, the breed quietly and slowly went extinct as the need for turnspits went
Yep.
away.
Well, I mean, if you look at it, and I'm going to invoke the hated name here, but the Kennel Club does not recognize the Pocket Beagle as it currently exists. Admittedly, there's a part of that because a lot of Pocket Beagles are the result of freak breeding of regular Beagles with dogs way too small to healthily have children with the Beagle, Chihuahuas, smaller Dachshunds to artificially shrink the puppies.
Absolutely.
But
So for
the
all of their hate, at least they have that going for them.
yeah. So the other thing is the Pocket
Mostly if
Beagle.
it's not a regulated,
Yeah,
purebred breed.
yeah. So the thing is, the Pocket Beagle was called that because they were a hunting dog used by, I believe it was British royalty in the, I can't remember if it was Victorian or if it was pre-Victorian time period. But the whole thing about them is they would be taken with to go beagling, which is, chasing down the game animals through brush and, briar.
Into the
And
dens.
exactly. And the reason they were called pocket beagles is that they would literally ride in the saddlebags of the hunter's horse. So imagine, if you will, the little pouches on either side of the saddle with beagles just kind of poking their heads and front paws out.
Admittedly adorable,
Yup.
if slightly suspect on the ethics of the breeding.
I mean, well, this is again going back to pre. We're talking working dogs
Working
bred to be
dogs,
working
bred for a
dogs.
job.
Yeah. Like, this
Back
is.
when dogs were tools, not family.
Yeah, when they were tools, not accessories.
Now, when you put when you put a chihuahua in a handbag and then wonder why it pisses, shits, and borks at everything, you don't deserve an animal.
When you had when a hunter had a pocket beagle in their saddlebags, though, those beagles were on their way either to or from their life's purpose. So they wasn't being unkind to the beagle. It was getting them amped up and ready to go because they were about to go chase that prey, and they were going to have a hell of a time doing it. So world difference between having a handbag, a purse pup in the modern day, vice simply transporting the dog, because they didn't have, travel kennels in the back of a Jeep like you do today.
Oh no.
So it was either the dogs walked or the dogs hitched a ride. And if they hitched a ride, then they were completely fresh and ready to rock by the time it was time for them to go hunting.
Alarm dogs are going to bark at everything. Yeah, yeah. They were called pocket
Circumvent
beagles to circumvent the Treaty of Versailles.
the first side. Oh my god, samurai, that is awful. I'm gonna have to remember that one. Oh, I'm gonna have to remember that one.
What is it? So I know you can't smell this, Aiden, but what is your opinion on this lovely cauldron of deliciousness boiling down here?
The corn gives me tragic mental images. I'm sorry.
Okay,
I know.
Fair enough.
I know I shouldn't, but other than that, though, it looks like. I mean, I'm gonna be honest. I'm something of an idiot when it comes to chili. It looks like chili. That is not an insult. That is praise, because I have seen chili that doesn't look like chili, and it was horrifying.
Oh yeah.
This looks like it would go great either with a crusty bread to dip in or over mac to give you that nice carb to go with it.
I am so glad I didn't eat my small loaf of bread today.
There you go, then. There you go.
That is now boiling.
Samurai. Oh my god. The Poshington Naval Conference.
Oh, dog puns.
Oh, that was bad. Night Owl, I was not going to elaborate. I was not going to elaborate.
Thank you for giving us
Yeah.
a very, very in-depth pup date.
I'm hoping to have more news in the next couple days, because their eyes, in the time it took us to pack them into the car to take on a 10-minute drive to the vet, between packing them into the travel carrier and unloading them from the travel carrier for the vet to do their 2-week checkup, their eyes opened.
Oh.
Right? That said, their eyes are now just kind of a milky, solid color because they're still not fully developed. All they can tell is the difference between light and dark. But as they develop over the next week or so, we should get an idea of what their eye color, at least their puppy eye color, is going to be, and I look forward to sharing that.
So one of my favorite, just kind of getting back onto dog breeds. One of my favorite breeds to look at is another like hunting working dog from Scandinavia. The Wallenhund.
So
it looks like a wolf corgi.
Yes. So we adopted Saris in March, which is about 9 months earlier than we planned to adopt a dog. We had told ourselves we were going to adopt a dog for Christmas, and then Saris fell into our laps. We didn't know we were going to have a dog until the day we had a dog. But before that, so Lady Red has historically been a Sheltie sort of girl.
Mm-hmm.
She had a pair of Shelties when I first met her, who were a delightful pair. They were brothers, lovely dogs, incredibly clever again. And when I went to visit her and meet my in-laws before the wedding, I mean, one of the two brothers became my dog. Like, he adopted me. And whenever we would talk on Skype at the time was what we were using, he would recognize and would come to see how I was doing because he understood that yes, that is my human on the other on the computer.
Mm.
So when we were looking at
That is a
adopting dogs,
lovely amount of spice. And the
ooh, very good.
chocolate has rounded it out nicely.
I'm gonna have to remember that, by the way, because that's something that I don't like spice that's got the hard edge to it. So I'm gonna have to remember
No.
trying that out.
Dux and I will both attest to absolutely loving spicy things. But
Yeah,
spice without flavor, heat without flavor, is not good.
awful. Yeah,
You need flavor.
I do not like capsaicin bombs. I don't mind heat to a degree. I'm not nearly as robust in my palate as you two are, but it has to have flavor.
Mm-hmm.
So no, hard concur. And
But yeah, back
go
to
on.
Lady Red and her Shelties, and the one being like, "That's my human in the thin box."
Yeah. So she was a Sheltie lady, and we had agreed that what we were going to look for was probably a herding dog of some variety. We were looking at small breeds, so Shelties, Corgis. The Valhund was one of the ones we were eyeballing as a option.
Ah, nice. Um,
So
so discovering that the Valhund exists led me on a deep dive into corgi mixes, which I understand the ethics of, and
yeah,
some breeds do not match well with small stumpy dog.
the Corgi mixes are hilarious, though.
But that doesn't stop them from looking absolutely hilarious. And like a
Agreed.
corgi is the spy from TF2 putting on another dog as a disguise.
As a disguise, yep.
Have you ever seen a
So
Dalmatian corgi?
yes, they are ridiculous. Also, Dalmatians are fun dogs. Saris had a couple playmates when we were still able to take her to the local park that were Dalmatians, and she loved them. They
Dalmatians
loved
are
her.
very, very curious, energetic animals.
Yes.
One of my
Also,
one of my
love.
favorite movies growing up, partially because most of my childhood was actually spent in England. My dad was military and was stationed at a military base in England when
Okay.
I was about 1 to 5. So, what happens to a child between 1 to 5, Aiden?
Um.
They learn how to speak.
Okay, fair enough. I was gonna. There's a handful of answers there.
So, with only 2 people around you speaking American English, what accent do you think that I came back to America with?
Depends on which region of England you were in, but I'm assuming
Uxbridge, right outside of London.
right outside of London. Oh boy.
I was speaking Queen's English when my dad got transferred to MacDill Air Force Base, and the Catholic nuns at the grade school that they put me in thought that I was retarded.
That's terrible. That is terrible because Queen's English is lovely. I know because I married a lady who speaks Queen's English.
I did not know that Lady Red was English until I heard her on the stream.
Yep.
Hi, Lady Red. I'm sorry I stole your husband. But
I mean, you
But-
say you stole me. So,
you
Doc,
volunteered.
have you ever watched Full Metal Alchemist?
Yes.
All right, you know Colonel Mays Hughes?
Yes.
You know his thing about always shoving pictures of his daughter in people's faces?
Yes.
That's me, but with dogs.
Ah, lovely.
Like, I can't help myself.
But Lady Red and chat at large, um, I have said this for a while, and I maintain it. If I take an extended vacation back to England, I will probably come back not really thinking about it, but affecting some sort of amalgamation of an American British accent.
You know, I can't throw shade because if I head back to Louisiana and spend too much time in the more rural parts of Louisiana, I will adopt a little bit of the Louisiana drawl back into my accent. Which is
And
even funnier because I'm not native to there. I just spent, the probably first half of my adult life there, and it just kind of
oh, my
it just kind
pasta
of
is
happened.
boiling. Um, but after the meetups, after the meetups, I I come back home, I get really tired or really drunk, and I start talking Southern.
There you go.
And sometimes it's very hard for me to snap out of it. Oh, that
As
is
long as you don't start
perfect pasta.
as long as you don't start talking Creole, because then we have questions. Because that's a language all its own.
Ducks, get in here. Ducks, I know you're listening, please.
Oh my god. I don't know if he is, or if he is, he's doing it from the shadows. The Phantom Quacker.
Ah, spicy! Spicy air!
Oh no, the spicy air!
I can't see! It is anger. Ow! Anger air. But get Ducks in a voice call and ask him about all of the accents he grew up with and all of the accents around him.
I mean, I haven't done that, but I do know that sat at that one sushi hibachi place, just kind of bullshitting with him, listening to him adopt varying accents like he grew up with them, leads me to believe that he very much had the cosmopolitan exposure from the young age of Duckling to be able to adopt them so comfortably.
Um, but yes, uh, it's hilarious. Yeah, no. It apparently, according to my mom, took me until I was about 10 or 11 years old to completely lose my accent. My British accent. And the last word that apparently I would say, quote unquote, British is balloon. I have no idea how to say balloon as a Brit, but apparently the double O ooh I pronounced British.
Interesting. I'm trying to love, how do you say balloon? Okay, that doesn't sound particularly abnormal to me when she says it. I don't understand. Yeah, Dalek is a good litmus test.
Dalek.
She just told me I did it wrong.
Wrong as well.
She says you did it wrong as well, Doc.
Yeah, apparently, yeah. Okay.
Love, would you like to inform us of how it's pronounced?
Dalek.
I'm gonna try and emulate it. Dalek?
Nope.
No,
Lady Red, please approach the microphone.
He's requesting you speak it so it can be heard.
How about I...
You go for it. She's gonna pop in. You mean Daleks? What? No, Hal.
Hello, Lady Red.
I am now also here. So the thing with this is going to be, I'm going to say it and you're not going to hear any difference. And then you're going to say it the way that you think is correct and emulating what I say, and you're not going to hear any difference. But British people will hear the difference. It's
Okay.
just one of those things. It is correctly pronounced Dalek.
Say it one more time.
Dalek.
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 Okay, you both got closer. Good job. Much closer than normal.
We get cookies.
Yes, that is usually my litmus test. Is if somebody's doing a British accent and they're probably American, ask them to pronounce Dalek because they
Right,
will get it wrong.
Oh, Lady Red, you will find
Yes.
this. You will find this story hilarious. I am sure of it. We were in England during 93 to 99.
Oh, excellent! That means you were in England for Michael Jackson's 1996 Dangerous tour.
Early 99. No. 97. I was in Florida in 99 and then moved to here in 2000-ish. But I forget which one it was. It was either her 50th or her 55th. But we went to one of the Queen's Jubilee celebrations, one of the parades.
Ooh. Yeah.
And here I am, 4 or 5 years old, asking my parents, what's going on? Why are we here? Oh, it's the Queen's birthday. So there we are, up against the bollards, and a toddler with 2 American-ass parents speaking the Queen's English, singing, screaming, at the top of his lungs, "Happy birthday, Queen."
Excellent. Carry on. Perfectly reasonable.
I was singing "Happy birthday to you, Miss Queen."
That is adorable and precious and wonderful, and I wish you had received a honorary knighthood because that's very sweet. The thing to remember with traditional British pageantry, and bearing in mind I've been out of the country for over a decade now, and the England of today is not the England I grew up in. Quite a lot has changed, but traditional English pageantry, it's about the show and to a degree, a certain degree of national identity, but it's if you're taking it seriously in terms of, everyone must say the exact right titles at the exact right time, so something like a Jubilee, then you've missed the point. That sort of stuff really isn't that important. That's where things like the changing of the guard is more important. And in many ways, that's exemplified by the fact that things like changing of the guard aren't special occasions. That happens every single day at specific times in the exact same way every day.
Because
and
it's
it's
a
why
military
that's
operation.
exactly, and that's why you get tourists getting into trouble with that. But for pageantry
Make way
and
for the Queen's
display
Guard.
and parade,
King's
it's
Guard
very,
now.
very fun. Yes, it is currently the King's Guard, but
I'm
one
sure
of the
you
things
have
I think is
opinions.
most fun to go and see is the changing of the guard in Windsor, because that's still a royal residence, even though the royals are very rarely in residence there. And you've got a fantastic steep hill to watch the changing of the guard going on, up and down on. And Windsor is also where the Coldstream Guards are based out of. So it's really interesting to just see
I remember
something
taking
normal.
a tour of, I believe, Windsor while it was under some sort of reconstruction.
Yes, because there was the Great Fire of 93, where one of the wings burned.
Yes,
I
they
could
let
see
us
the glow
peek
in the sky from where I lived at the
They opened
time.
up a door, and we just saw a lot of char and smoke damage, and they're just like, and we're not going down there because there was a fire, and we're currently reconstructing.
Yes. It was a very, very bad fire. I remember it very clearly, yes. Yeah. But Windsor's fantastic. The most important question I have to ask you about that, did you
Yes.
get bitten by a swan?
No, I have never gotten
Then-
bitten by a swan.
Then you
But-
must go back and do it again
but
until you get bitten by a swan, and then you've had the wind.
There is a picture of me. Warwick. I believe it's Warwick Castle and the Warwick Castle grounds, which has like an amphitheater or something, right?
Yeah. Yes. I'll tell you about Warwick in a minute. You tell me your thing first.
A lovely garden with a lovely garden that hosts musical acts and everything, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's a picture of me about 5 years old. My mom had said, "Hey, Philip," or hey, I just used my name.
Wow, way to dox yourself, homie.
My brothers used it before. What the fuck ever. There was a picture of me. My mom said, "Hey, Doc, turn to me," and I'm just like, "What?" And then she snapped a picture. And later, once I was aware enough to, like, I don't know, be a person, she showed me this picture, and I am standing in front of a peacock in full fan.
Oh, wonderful. Yeah,
Ooh.
Warwick has a lot of those. There's a lot of peacocks up at Warwick Castle. So the interesting thing about Warwick Castle, it's a example of a very early Motte and Bailey fort. And it is not owned by any noble families or royals at this point in time. It is owned by the Merlin Entertainment Group, whom I used to work for. They also own Legoland. They own Legoland, and I worked for them at their Legoland location in Windsor, which was one of the best jobs I ever had in my life. But it meant that I could get free access to Warwick Castle whenever I wanted to go up there. And I have
going
spent
to Legoland London as well.
yeah, I've spent much, much time up at Warwick Castle. It's fantastic. The only downside is the year after I left the country, and clearly that has bearing on this. They had a working trebuchet up at Warwick, and they would do twice a day for some of their trebuchet launches. They would let members of the audience come in and turn the treadmill that winds up the trebuchet, because it's effectively a sort of walking hamster wheel that you do to load the trebuchet. Well, unfortunately, on one occasion, on one night for a special event, they launched a flaming load, and they hadn't turned the trebuchet from where it was pointing earlier in the day, and flaming loads travel a different distance to the non-flaming loads, and they destroyed a boathouse from the 14th century.
Oh no!
I have all sorts of ridiculous work stories from being involved with Merlin.
But no, I very much I don't remember a lot of my time in England. I remember vaguely going to nursery school, and my biggest memory of that is playing in sand with a bunch of pantyhose and watching it filter through the mesh.
Yeah,
I mean,
that tracks.
Practical science.
Where I was wondering what kiwis were. That's all I remember of British schooling. I remember, I can vaguely recall the layout of the housing that the military put us up in with strenuous recollection.
Do you remember where you were based out of with the military housing?
RAF Uxbridge.
Okay.
My dad was part of the USAF attachment there.
Yes. Yeah, because
Fair.
we've vastly reduced how many locations are over in the UK now.
But one of my best memories was of spending time with my dad on the stair landing, because the stairs went down, had a landing, and then turned the other way.
Yeah, that's very common for British houses.
And we would play pirates on it. We had like I had a Fisher Price pirate ship that I still have. It is dingy and knocked around, but I still have it. And we would play pirates, and that's one of my best memories with my dad living in England.
That sounds
Nice.
fantastic. Well, we've turned your stream into let's talk about Britain in the good old days.
That's okay. Before that, we were turning his stream into dog.
Yes,
So, you
no.
know, you've just been shanghaied in general.
No, yeah, absolutely. It's a Shanghai stream, and I'm sitting right in here in front of a rapidly cooling bowl of chili mac, wondering when the fuck am I going to eat it.
You should really get on with that because chili is delicious when it's fresh.
Oh yes, no. So did you? So various members of chat and the Legion at large might have opinions on green beans and corn in chili, but this is ostensibly a vehicle for putting vegetables into my body. So
Yeah,
meh.
chili's excellent for that.
But did you see the custom spice mix and my secret ingredient?
I heard Aiden mentioning something about it, but I was in the middle of drawing a marauder at the time and not paying much attention. I'm very sorry.
So I put chocolate in this chili.
Oh, I bet that's going to taste really interesting. Cool.
Yes. No. No. I have discovered that putting like about a half cup of semi-sweet chocolate morsels into this pot of chili mellows out the flavor in such a lovely way and gives it a very savory body.
Lovely.
Yes. But yeah, thank you both for coming and talking dogs and old England with me.
Yes.
I'm telling you, Maze Hughes will
Lady
talk
Red.
dog.
Lady Red.
Yes.
Dalek.
Nope. Went backwards. Dalek.
Dalek.
Closer.
Yeah. Get the fuck out of my stream.
Okay, bye.
Very well.
Thank you
Goodbye.
both for coming. Go give the beans and the dogs many scritches.
Will do, and you enjoy eating your beans and chocolate and other delicious things.
Yes.
Ciao.
Have a good evening. Lovely times. Okay, let's get testing. And okay, there we go. We are back to normal volumes, and I no longer have to yell. Yes, don't fuck with geese, guys. They are called cobra chickens for a reason. So yes, chili mac. Granted, it's with penne and not macaroni or spaghetti, but this is what I had on hand. Whatever. Yeah. I might need a bigger spoon. We're gonna need a bigger spoon. Oh. Yes. The pasta was a very, very good idea. The Parmesan was also a very good idea. No, I've used Protein Plus pasta. It has 10% of my recommended daily recommended dose of protein per 2-ounce serving. That's more than 2 ounces of pasta. I mean, I have to taste my food, Aiden. Shut the fuck up. And I'm not eating to excess, which is what the mukbang is. I have opinions on mukbangs. So, it promotes binging and purging because mukbang as a Korean concept has lots of very skinny people with probably very unhealthy relationships with food, eating a lot of food in a very short amount of time with no ill effects. And then one of the most, and then once Americans got the hang of it, it was lots of greasy fast food, heavy ass pastas, greasy fried chicken, burgers, fries, just lots of very, very, very unhealthy foods eaten all together just for the quote-unquote ASMR of smacking lips and eating food on camera. The people that watch this have a very, very sick obsession with A, feeding, and B, listening to people eat, and I think they're freaks. I'm not here to yuck nobody's yum, but I yuck that yum, because it's yucky. And not yummy. And then they proceed to just eat and eat and eat and eat and get bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. And in fact, if you watch some of these people continue on their mukbang careers, they get bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. One of the most prominent American mukbangers, I forget his name, apparently has said that it was all a stunt and now he's back to being thin. I don't know how much I believe that, but if he has given up on unhealthy eating, all the best to him. But what I am doing is I have not eaten all day long. This is my dinner. I am tasting food and giving a review to you. I am not shoveling this food into my mouth. And there have been moments where I have done that, where a dish is particularly enjoyable, I have outdone myself, and or I'm very hungry. This is a cooking stream with a review at the end. This is not a mukbang, because this is probably all I'm going to eat. And I'm going to save the rest of this. And I don't end up wearing it. Yes. Belgian. I don't just shovel it in. I savor food. I love food. Food and I enjoy the process of eating. I don't eat to eat. Food is not something to just ingest. There are times when I have just ingested food because A, I'm absolutely starving and I need calories, or I don't have time, but this show is a celebration of food. And here I am celebrating this creation with you by giving you a review. It is spicy, it is savory, and absolutely wonderfully loaded with flavor. Mukbangs promote unhealthy eating habits, prey on people with mental illnesses, and is just generally one of the most disgusting things I think exist on the internet. Especially the story of that one Korean mukbanger who ate a live fucking squid on her show. Now I'm upset. Very, very upset. And I've almost lost my appetite. But yes, corn, green beans make it look a little chunky. But lovely spice. Lovely spice, lovely flavor. And one of the things that I am very proud of with my spice mix is it's not punch you in the face spicy, but the more you eat, the hotter and hotter it gets, to where by the end of the bowl, you're just like, holy shit, that's spicy. But yes, I have opinions on mukbangs. It is the epitome of gluttony. And as much as I am not very much a religious person, gluttony is one of the sins that I forgive the least, because you're just wasting food. There's so much, like, you don't need to eat all that. You don't need to eat all that. You're just wasting food and money. For what? Absolutely nothing. Anyway, Belgian, you do miss a good chili. It's been years. Oh well. I hope that this has been some inspiration. What kind of chili? It's a trash can of chili. I put beans. I put corn. I put bean. Jesus Christ. That came right up my nose. I put beans, corn, green beans, a can of Rotel. Why? Because I had it. A couple of cans of tomato sauce and a thing of diced tomatoes. Dumped it all in. Ground beef, spices, chocolate. I swear to God, chocolate. Served it over pasta, and now it's really good. This recipe comes from a site called Cooking Comically, a site that I pull from often, called 2 a.m. chili. Ostensibly, what happens when you're drunk, bored at 2 a.m. and why... Oh, that was my other hand that stopped. Drunk, hungry at 2 a.m., don't want to go to the store, and open up your pantry and see all of this. You make chili. With that, before I get even more angry at mukbangs for existing, I'm going to say thank you, everyone, for joining today. I hope you had a very pleasant time, enjoyed the pup date and the distraction that caused, and then the lesson into the lesson into how to be British and my British history. Let me see here. Video. We are going to end this with watching, what is Wahaddle chili? I have no idea what that is. All I know is the Wahaddle dog, which is the naked dog from Coco. Let me see if I can't quickly get this. No, cancel. How the fuck do I do this? Media. Okay, there we go. Okay. Browse. Videos. Here we go. This is what I did the other day. I'm sorry for continuing God of War Ragnarok without you. Ah, shit. Can you guys hear it? Fuck. You know what? We're gonna do something else. Video. No, do not open it with Windows Media Player. Open with VLC like a good program. You know what? I think this thing might not have any audio. God damn it. I'll figure it out next time. See you guys later. Remember to hail, hail, Cargonia.
Hold on.
Land of stolen things, obey the quartermaster, unless he's a ling. Miners don't die today. Cargo techs push freight. Our enemies in disarray. All hail Cargonia.
Get back to work.